everyone. You're listening to the second episode of The Conversation with Tim McKain, where I interview entrepreneurs, influencers, community leaders, and world changers. And today I have a world changer here, Charity Maddox from MaddFitness. Actually, MaddFitness is an online fitness program where she incorporates music and dance in a way that's non-traditional in exercising and losing weight. How are you doing today, Charity?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So what led you to start MaddFitness, and when did you start it?
Yeah, so I've actually been teaching dance fitness since 2016 in the Greensboro, North Carolina community. I started then. I got introduced to it by one of my friends. He started teaching because he was teaching Zumba. And I just found that it was a way for you to, one, lose weight, but also find a way to kind of escape all the things that you had going on. So in your everyday activities. So it was very nice to kind of see that and then be like, wow, I've been dancing all my life. Like I've trained dancing. I used to play basketball, so I was big into fitness. I've always been athletic. So it was really nice to find like that common balance. And then 2017, I moved to Charlotte for an internship, and I was looking for like a Zumba class or something just to continue to keep me active. And then I got introduced to MixFit, which is a fitness program that's a global platform, just like Zumba. And so, but MixFit is more so about explosive dance movements and body weight toning. So, and then I had the ability to kind of do whatever music I wanted to and create and just find that way to be creative within dance fitness. And then, so I've been teaching for the past 2 years. I got certified back in 2019. And so I've traveled, I've been a part of other fitness programs. I've traveled to Atlanta. I've been all over North Carolina. People look at me and be like, hey, mixed fit. Like, it's just one of those things that's like now has became my brand. And I couldn't really brand myself as much as I wanted to, or be able to provide more avenues. So then I was like, well, let me create just one hub so people can be have the ability to come to MixFit whenever they wanted to, not just during my classes that I teach live, but also be able to find other ways to have those like different interval classes and your stretch classes and all these different classes, but being able to still have that workout to music kind of concept. So that's where MaddFitness came about, just finding a platform or a hub that I can be able to provide multiple different classes. And so as the year of 2021, like I want to be able to provide all different fitness formats for people to stay involved, to stay active. So that's where MaddFitness pretty much it's just a hub, and then you'll be able to access different classes throughout the year.
I got you. So was there any family and friends who kind of inspired you to be an entrepreneur? And
yeah, so my grandfather, he was a barber. Like my grandfather was one of those like grandfathers where it's like every time you met up with him, he had something new that he did. Like, oh, well, back in my day, that was like his favorite saying. So before he had left this earth and became one of my angels, he always used to tell me, he's like, I was a nurse, I was a barber, I sold stuff out of the back of my trunk. And like, he just always found a way to be able to, have multiple streams of income. My dad is just like him, and he's a pastor. He's a supervisor at his company. He owns a car lot. So he used to do, what else has he done? He used to do like alarm business. It's like my dad would be like, he will find some way and somehow to be a part of something. Like it's just, if it's a way to make money, he's in there. And so I just saw them to just find different ways of just being able to capitalize on their creativity and being able to kind of touch and impact lives in so many different ways. And so that's kind of what inspired me to kind of start this journey as an entrepreneur. My first business actually was a flip-flop business back when I was 9 years old. And I started that business, and it ended because my friends were my assembly workers and they wanted more pay and I couldn't pay them more. I'm like, girl, I'm only charging $5 for flip flop. But so my dad has always tried to kind of instill that entrepreneurial concept, whether I took on it or not. He's always been the person to kind of show me, like, you never want to be solely dependent upon one stream. You always want to find other ways to kind of steer away from your everyday activities. So those two have been very inspirational and very pivotal in what I consider of like being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, what were some of the lessons? And I know you already talked about the multiple streams of income, but what were also some of the lessons learned, not only from what they taught you, but also from your own experience being an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So you said lessons?
Yes.
Okay. So my biggest lesson that I learned in this is that my business is only catered to a certain amount of people, and I cannot be dependent upon my friends to solely support me. Not necessarily saying that they don't support me or they don't believe in me or they're not here for what I do, but everybody's not into fitness. Everybody does not dance. That's not something that everybody does. And I can't force that on my friends. And so a lot of times I think when we get into entrepreneurship is that we always say, well, my friends are supposed to support me the most. It is not that they don't. Like, all my friends like repost my stuff and things like that, but I never look to them to be my sole target audience. I always try to find ways to utilize them to share it to other people that they might know that might like it, but never ultimately depending upon my friends or the people that are closest to me to be my main source of clients. So that was definitely a hard lesson to learn, because you want people to be like, well, I do it, so should you, but it's not always like that. Everybody, like, even if I started a coffee business or I started a candle business, maybe not everybody like candles, but my only job for you as my friend is to support me. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least share it. So that was definitely the biggest lesson. And then also learning how to be consistent with whatever I do. I think a lot of times we get into this space, it's like, well, I only got 5 likes, or nobody reshared my post today, or nobody came to class. I remember launching in my second class, I only had 2 people in my class. And then as the year had, went on, as much as I posted and I like drilled this in people's mind, they're like, oh my God, I want to be there. Like, I, try to create anticipation for people to be there. And so it was just crazy, because like then I started teaching classes of 30 and people, room to like literally wall to wall in my classes. I had an event that was like 60 people, 70 people. I've been able to touch so many lives and impact so many lives through my platform. And so it's really dope to see how being consistent and being just dedicated to what you believe in will really take you further than being just looking for somebody to like support you. Like, it will come organically. If you believe in yourself, people will believe in you. And that was definitely something that I had to learn throughout the process of teaching in general.
We'll speak on that mental toughness, because like you said, you know, wondering about whether or not why your friends don't support you as much as you like, or maybe not getting as many likes as you want, or even having people saying no, they're not interested in that rejection. So just take us through your mindset and that development of like being able to handle the no's and pressing forward.
Yeah, honestly, like and I'm a huge believer, and I'm not for sure who's listening out here, but wherever you get your source from, but I know where my source comes from. And I had to really depend on my faith and in God, honestly, because that was the only way that I was going to be sustainable. Like, God has given me this talent and this ability to be able to teach and to be able to create content, to create these workouts that are effective. So he gave me this skill and this talent. So all I have to do is tap into that and at least meet him halfway, and he's going to take the rest. So it's like I had to kind of be in a position. I would never forget, I actually had a conversation with him. It's my boy. I had a conversation with him, and I was just like, what is it that I need to do? And he said, you need to keep that same energy. If I give you 2 people, I need you to keep that same energy just as much as I give you 100 people. Like, you have got to teach people the same, in that same mindset, as if you only touch one person or touch 100 people. Because if you can touch one person, you can touch 100. If you can touch 100, you'll touch 1,000. And that's kind of the mindset that I had to take, even through COVID. Like, that was a huge drop in my numbers completely, because it's just like nobody wants to do virtual. No, like, everybody likes to come in person. And so it was just one of those things. It's like I had to learn throughout the process. It's just being mentally tough and understanding that God's gonna get me through this no matter what. And now, like, he has allowed me to create this virtual space. Like, who would have thought I would be teaching virtually? And now I'm like, wow, I'm creating a whole online fitness program. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, you never know what it may align. So it's just like kind of having that faith and being able to trust that things are going to work out the way that they do, as long as you're consistent and as long as you stay committed. So that was something that I had to learn real quick, especially in COVID. And just as the journey has gone on and just building my brand and building my clientele, it's just really being staying true to who I know and what I believe in.
Wow. Okay. So you spoke on your faith in God and how he's helped you in your business, but how has your faith in God helped you personally as growing up as a woman of God?
Yeah. Whew, that's everything. Because I'm faith without works is dead. So my thing is, it's just like, I have to, one, have that faith in everything that I do, not just in fitness, but like, I work a full-time job. So it's not like I just do this solely as my primary income. So I work a full-time job. It's highly demanded. Like, I'm stressed out all the time at work because I do supply chain. So I'm a buyer. And then, trying to build my own business and working through family issues and working through, my aunt passing through cancer. Like, it's just, and then not being able to hang out with my cousins and travel and hang out with friends. Like, it's one of those things. It's like, you really have to be able to have faith in everything that you do, because I don't know like how to explain this, but I look at it like God said, you have to have a faith the size of a mustard seed. Like, a mustard seed is so small. Like, if you just give him just a little bit or an ounce of just a little faith in everything and just giving it to him solely, it's like crazy how he would transform and renew everything that you have going on. Like, I can just remember, like, out of the passing of my grandfather came Mixed Fit. Out of the passing of my aunt came MaddFitness. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, even through the storms, there's still always a rainbow at the end. And so knowing that I've been through these storms and like going through grad school, like I went to grad school. And so going through that, I was able to get a good job. Like, so there's so many things that I had to endure, as just being so young. And there were so many things that I had to push myself through, has really allowed my faith to grow and to be of an increase in so many things. And that's just like, I live by faith. Like, that's just what I do, because I just know I've seen myself coming through a storm and pushing through a storm and being able to see something beautiful come out of it. So it's helped out a lot in all of the areas of my life, not just for Mixed Fit and MaddFitness.
I believe it. And one of the ways that I believe that God is using you is through some of the organizations that you've started, like 8 Days of Charity. Speak on 8 Days of Charity, and like also to inspire young people or just people in general that see the work that you do in the community.
Yeah. So, okay. That's so crazy that you said this. So I was going through like a really tough time. Like, I gained weight. I was so sad because I was like, oh my gosh, like my aunt like was like this, like that was my girl. And so just seeing kind of like how she has went through this journey of like, battling cancer. And then also too, that was one piece of it. And then two, just COVID. Like,
yeah,
I mean, come on now, like everybody life changed 360. Like, it was kind of like one of those things. Is like, you couldn't even ease your way into like the whole pandemic. Like, it hit me and slapped me inside my face. So, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm traveling, I'm doing all this stuff. And then now I'm just at my house, like, oh my God, like I'm stuck here. Like, I can't go anywhere. So I just saw like the impact of it with my clients and not even being able to come to class sometimes because they lost their job, or people are being highly impacted by losing loved ones to COVID.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. It was just like, okay, all right. So God says, in order to have a blessing, sometimes you got to be a blessing. And so I kind of wanted people to still kind of take themselves back a little bit and be like, you know what, even through my tough times, I still want to be a blessing to somebody else. And we all know that the situation with schools, the schooling and being like kids are not being able to have the proper education that they normally would, or the accessibility, or being able to access their teachers, like not even being able to email them. So 8 Days of Charity, my name is Charity. So I wanted to have a play on words. I thought it was funny to do that because I was like, I never do anything with my first name. I always do stuff with my last name. Like I wrote, I did this thing called Maddie Mondays, which was like a God-based devotional. Like I've done, now I have MaddFitness. I want to eventually get into other stuff, and I always use my last name. So I was like, let's try to use my first name in this. So Charity came, 8 Days of Charity came because I wanted to challenge the people that I love and the people that love me to kind of separate themselves from themselves and be a blessing to somebody else. And so that's kind of where it all came from. And then ultimately we raised money to buy one of the students at one of the elementary schools in Greensboro. We were able to purchase him a laptop, so he'll be able to access his classes and he's elementary school. So I think I want to say third or fourth grade. I can't remember right now, but he was absent for the whole entire year until I got to him. So he was considered absent because he didn't have a computer. His mom worked hard all the time and was like trying to provide him things, and like she's stressed out because he doesn't have what he needs, and she's trying to work and do all these things. And so it was just like a divine appointment that we had met up, because I was like, I really just wanted to be a blessing to a child of color, one. And then two, it was even better that I had a male. And so I was just like, I want to be a blessing to a child this year because of everything that's going on. And so, yeah, that's where 8 Days of Charity came in, and we raised over the amount. So I was able to buy him a laptop, headphones, paper, pencils, construction paper, paint. Like I was glue, everything that you could possibly think of. Like I was in Five and Below, and I was just throwing stuff all in my basket, just because we raised so much more money than what I intended. So I was able to buy him this new laptop and all these things for him to be successful. So that's where 8 Days of Charity came into play, just challenging my friends and family to kind of do something different. And it was for my birthday. So it was just like doing something different than what you would normally do for your birthday. So yeah.
Yes, sir. And how was his experiences when he found out that he had the laptop? What was he excited? What was going through his mind? What's his emotions
Oh
like?
my gosh. So he was so hyped. Like it was so funny because whenever I literally laid everything out for him. And he was like, "This is all for me. Are you sure?" I was like, "It's not." And he was like, "For real? Like, this is all for me?" And I was like, "Absolutely." I said, "You deserve it. Like, I want you to know that you deserve anything. Like, you don't allow your circumstance or your situation to be able to define who you are in this society." And I wanted him to grow up to know that he could be anything that he wanted to be, no matter what it currently may look like. Because, as kids, that's kind of like the foundation of what we think in our minds, that we're not good enough, or because my family didn't have this, I can't go to school, So it's kind of like one of those things. Like I wanted him to know that he could be anything, he can go anywhere, he can achieve anything that he wanted to, all because, and I didn't want a laptop to hold that back from him. So he was so hyped. When I say so hyped, he was just like all in everything. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to pay. I can't wait to do this." He was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, like, look at me. I can get into my schoolwork." So he was so thrilled. He was so excited. And the mom, like, she just bawled her eyes. I was like, "Girl, you gotta stop crying," because I don't cry. I was like, "Please stop crying, girl." But she just bawled her eyes out because she was just such of joy and just of love, and just felt like she was like, I just felt like you were like the prayer, like you answered my prayers. And so she was just, I was just like, it was God that had to like align this, because I was like, I wanted somebody to be very appreciative of what I gave, what I would, be able to provide their son or their daughter. So it was awesome. It was definitely a life-changing experience.
That's amazing. How important do you think it is to, especially in our community, in the African
Mhm.
American community, how effective do you think uh, when it comes to like how little kids see each other? When of
Mhm.
course, like no matter what, if they have a tough situation, right? How important is it for young people to see African American leaders like yourself helping out the community and inspiring these young people?
I think it's everything. I mean, like it's kind of one of those things. It's like, wow, you were in my shoes. That's kind of like where they like, you came from Greensboro, like you were able to do this and this. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, wow, like I see myself in you, so because you did it, I can do it. And I think it's very big I think it's very important for African American leaders, but just people in general that have really done stuff with themselves. It doesn't even have to be a business. Like it could be anything. I traveled outside of the world. A lot of people don't travel or have a passport. So it's just like, oh my God, you were able to go here. Like you got on a plane. Like it's just one of those things. It's like kids really, that's kind of like the foundation of who they're going to become or what they're able to see, or like they're able to actually see that this is possible. And I think it's very important for Black women and Black men to be able to come back to their community and look at the students and being able to say, okay, like I can be like this one day, I can do this one day. And just having that sense of inspiration for them, I think it's huge, because they're the leaders of whenever I'm not here anymore, or my knees, because I'm not blessed with mega knees. So whenever my knees aren't able to do something, then somebody else can be like, well, Miss Charity was able to be a dance fitness instructor. She was able to do this. So I can do this. I like to dance. I didn't know that was a thing. So it's just really important to be able to give back and give back to kids, and kind of showcasing that these things are possible for you to achieve.
Exactly, exactly. So you went to North Carolina A&T.
Absolutely. Aggie pride.
So what was your experiences going to an HBCU, and how did it develop you as an individual and as a business lady?
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, like I'm so thankful to go to a HBCU. Like it was the best decision of my life. Just being around Black people, like that was something like I never thought was even like a thing. So being
Mm.
around Black people is just like one of those things. Is just like, dang, like I feel so good here. Like I feel like I belong. I feel like I have a voice. I feel like I can be successful. And then also too, being at an HBCU, I'm not for sure about anybody else's, but at A&T, we really push, like I'm my own competition, but I'm also in competition with everybody else, right? So it's
Mm.
kind of like we all push each other to be the best things that we could possibly be. And that's what I loved about A&T, because no matter what you ran for, no matter what club you joined, no matter what organization you crossed, it was kind of like one of those things. It's like everybody always push you to be better than what you came out in the beginning. So when I saw myself coming in freshman year to senior year, I'm like, I can speak better. The way that I carry myself, like whenever I present myself in front of people, my resume, the way that I interview, you know, having that sense of connectivity, networking. Like I'm in a pool of so many Black dope people. Like it's just amazing. And it's kind of like that sense of like you went to a HBCU, no matter where you are in life, it's kind of like that thing of like, I already am connected to you. I don't even know you, but I'm connected to you because you went here or you were able to go here. So I just think about just how it has transformed the way that I view life. And how competitive that I was in school, of just wanting to be the best self that I could possibly be, whether it was my grades, whether it was, I was an SGA, I was an AKA, I did new student programs. Like they really make you a well-rounded student, and it's your job to kind of take that and push it to your own, into your own industries, into your own businesses. And so now, like when I see, like I work at Volvo Group, so I go back to A&T, and now I'm recruiting. So now somebody else has the ability to be where I am, and then also too, now like I'm in a pool of just Black excellence. So if I needed marketing strategies or web design or even videography, things like that, like I have a pool of like people that just want to help you because you're Black and you want to do something better for society. So it's just like really dope that I went to a HBCU, because it's just, I don't know, it's the best one, is the best experience hands down, but it was one of those things that was definitely life-changing for me. And I would never, like, I want my kids to go to a HBCU, like no matter what their industry is, we're gonna find one for you, because you'll never in the world, you'll never be around so many amazing Black people in one hub, like ever. So it's just really important to kind of get that sense of like, I'm here with my Black people, we're gonna be real Black together. So it was an amazing experience. Yeah, I recommend it 5 stars.
I recommended 5 stars. I got a lot of family in A&T, so I got love for A&T.
Yes, Aggie Pride all day.
Aggie Pride. So what is success to Charity Maddox?
So success to me is, that's a really good question. Success to me is being able to be your best version of you. That success doesn't have like a simple definition, right? So it's not very easy because success looks different to everybody. And I really feel like the best, when I think of success to me, is getting up every day, looking to do something different, learning a new skill, learning some way, somehow I could be better, being great at my job, and being a great and amazing instructor. That's what success looks like to me. And right now, that's what success looks like right now. But like, if I was to have a family, like being successful, it could be being the best mother and making sure that my kids have everything that they need, or being a wife and providing for my family. So success looks different in so many different facets in where you are in life, but it's when you can be the best person that you can possibly be at the moment that you're in, and being great, like just being great at whatever you do.
I love it. So let's say a little boy or a little girl, they come to you and they see you got the mixed fit, they see you got the MaddFitness, they see you got a full-time job, you're killing the game, and they're like, Charity, man, say, Miss Maddox, how do I get to be like you in the future? What would you tell them?
Ooh, that's good. That is good. What would I say? So I would say, one, whatever you see yourself, or it don't matter what it could be. If you want to be the president or an astronaut or whatever it could possibly be, like, just go for it. Like, the best advice that I ever got was just start it. Like, just start somewhere. And I would just say, like, for them to just start, just if you see that you want to be something in life, just do it. Like, don't let your circumstances or your situation or anybody else or any external factors to define what you want to be in life. Because a lot of people feel like they could throw what they feel like you should be on you. But like, when God has already ordained your steps, and when he's already given you a purpose and a dream, that's what you go after. You don't go after what your parents think, what grandma and auntie and Uncle Pookie may think that you should be in life. Like, that's not their job. Your job in life is to do and be anything that you possibly can be. So one, I would tell them to to just go after it. Don't let their circumstance or their environment to define who they can be. because there's so many people out here. There's so many different programs and things for you to get into in order to still obtain the things that you would want to obtain. And stay in school, because that's one thing that I think I've noticed growing up in Greensboro, is that sometimes that we kind of give up on ourselves before life gives up on us. And so I just feel like just stay in school. Like, the best one thing that nobody can take away from you is your knowledge. And when you have that, it's like you're undefeated at that point, because nobody can do anything to you or say to you, because you already know. So if you have that degree up under your belt, your diploma up under your belt, then you're able to start a trade. You can learn how to be a coder. You can do a social media strategist. There's so many more things now in this world to just be great at. It's kind of like, why stop? Like, why stop? So I would tell them just to be amazing, because I have been in a situation where I've allowed other people kind of to determine or kind of alter what I thought about myself or what they thought that I should be. And it was kind of like, well, I'm not ready for that. It took me a little bit longer to start my career and to get into these things. Like, I started working when I was 24, and some people came out the gate working. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, you take your own path. And like, people looked at me crazy when I said I wanted to go to grad school, but then I was able to go to China and study for a whole month. And I was able to be amongst so many different nationalities and really be able to be impactful in now my current role when I work globally. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, don't allow nobody to define. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, it just really bothers me, because a lot of people just feel that they have so much to say about a person. And it's like, nah, bro, like, I ain't asked you for all this. This is not where God wants me to be. So keep your mouth shut. Unless you had a conversation with him. All right, then. But you didn't have a conversation with him. Please don't tell me nothing. So
I like that.
Yeah, like, people really be feeling like, oh, but I feel like you should be. And it's like, no, bro, like, that's not what God has for me. And so I just really feel like just allowing yourself to just do you and just be who you are and just be great. You'll be unstoppable then. So that's what I would tell them. It's long, but that's what I would tell them.
I like it. I love it. So who were some of the business leaders that you grew up wanting to be like as a kid, and who are some of the people that you are learning from now?
Yeah. So growing up, I would still say my family was a huge, they were very supportive, and they have been very, like, they're that family that would do anything to make sure that, like, you want to do this charity. Okay, let's see what we need to do. Okay, what practices you need to be in, this and that. So I would say growing up, my family was very pivotal in the decisions that I made and the way that I moved in life. So my dad and my grandfather and my aunt, my grandmother, my mom, like, just so many different people have really poured into me over the years. My church family, because my dad's a pastor. So like, whenever I had a cotillion, like, every time that I was in a cotillion, I had to raise money, like, oh, hands down, the church family was going to be there. So just everybody that was in my life growing up. And then now I would say one person, well, a couple people that I look up to right now is one, Vice President Kamala Harris, First Lady Michelle Obama are two people that I'm like, oh my God, like, who would have thought we would have a Black woman as a first lady, and now we have a Black woman as a vice president. So it's kind of like they're kind of showing me like it's still possible. Like, you only just are scratching the surface. Like, there's so many more pieces and so many more levels that you can obtain in life. And so that's kind of like, they're like just that one that's like, oh my God, like, if I could meet them, I'd probably like bust out crying. I'm about to just be like so overwhelmed. I love Beyonce. Okay, so everybody know I love my girl, but
You're part of the Beehive.
Part of the Beehive, period. But they're very. She is one of those people that have just allowed herself to evolve in her creativity, and just seeing her go like from just being in a girls group called Girls Time, and then going into Destiny Child, and now, being a solo artist, and then now being a creative. Like, all her videos are now like becoming like a story, and now she's she does fitness wear. And so it's just like one of those things. It's like not allowing yourself to kind of be in a bubble, and not allowing the industry or people to kind of define what you should be. And so for her to do like the Lion King album, like I listen to that every day because I love Afrobeat. So it was just the fact that like now she's just like getting into like so many different other genres of music. It's just like, this girl is unstoppable. So she's one. And then in the fitness industry, I look up to this lady named Kiera Lachey. She's out of Atlanta. And so she does dance fitness. She does hip hop Sambada, and she's been doing it for years. Like, she was starting off in DVDs. So doing DVD workouts. And so just seeing her as she's evolved, and just seeing like she did not start off like very perfect. That kind of like gives me the inspiration to be like, I don't have to have all these things in order to still make an impact. And so for people to still want to be a part of my program. And so I know that as time, she's shown me as time evolves, you evolve with time. So like she's now she's getting into more challenges and things like that, but she started off doing dance videos and hip hop, workout videos. And so it's just kind of like, just start. She's just shown me like, you can just start. Your videos don't have to be the best quality. They don't have to be the most edited. They don't have to have all these different things to still be effective. So she's definitely one person that I currently like love. Every time she goes on live, like I'm in there, because like I just love how she's just evolved. And now she kind of showcases working out as a mom and being pregnant and still being able to work out. So it's kind of like, wow, like these are things that I can look forward to as my life goes on, and if I get married and all these different things. And so she's just definitely been, those women have definitely been pivotal people in just kind of seeing how charity can be in the future.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So your online fitness program is starting in January 2021. So
yes.
take us through that. So there's a young woman, she wants to join your class. What are some of the things that she's going to experience at MaddFitness?
So MaddFitness is a fitness program that is for a community that wants to diversify their traditional gym regimen. So, and that still wants to get the same results, but is looking for ways to kind of stay engaged. So MaddFitness, you get 3 different classes right now. We're starting off with 3 different I'm saying we, it's me, but I'm saying we because it's called the MaddFitness family. And so once you join the MaddFitness family, you'll be able to have access to me. So like if you have questions or things like you're like, Charity, girl, I don't know what to do. Like this, my leg is hurting right now. Is there some arm workouts or ab workouts or something like that? So you'll have access to me. You'll have access 24/7 access to my pre-recorded workouts. And that's with R&B and stretch, which is a stretch class that has yoga movements to old and new R&B hits. You have trap and tone, which is a strengthening kind of hit interval. High impact, but it's not really like one of those things where it's like I'm telling you, okay guys, we're going to do this. It's still within that kind of like choreographed movements, because you're still working out to trap music, so hip hop music, old and new, so your favorite hits. And then you have mixed fit, which is something that I teach all the time, and everybody knows me from that, which is a dance fitness cardio, but it's still with body weight toning. So it's not straight twerking. We don't we still have like movements where it can be modified as in a male version, and we can also do a female version. Okay. So MaddFitness is not just a female-based program. It's I have men in my class, and they take my classes and they put weights to it. They'll do bands, whatever you need to do in order to maximize your workout. But it's a cardio class, more for cardio. So you have those 3 different classes, and then we're getting into nutrition, because a piece of exercising is not just working out is also your nutrition. So I have a grocery list. I have a nutrition challenge of the month, and I'm offering recipes of the month. And then also too, I'll be able to coach my clients through like different nutritional challenges they may have. And then we have, of course, you'll be able to join a community, accountability community. And then we have a DJ mix. So my DJ partner with me, and basically we're providing like a workout mix. So whether you're, running on the treadmill, you're running outside, you're on the elliptical, because I'm challenging everybody to do at least 30 minutes a day. So whether you're doing that, you have a mix to listen to while you're working out. So it's of all of your hits. Like you can think of R&B and soca and all the different areas of music that I touch on in my program. You'll be able to listen to different songs that he has mixed together. So you'll be able to do that. And then lastly, I just have a workout challenge that I challenge you to do every day for 21 days. So it's not like a full live workout, but I'm challenging you to at least work out 30 minutes a day. And then I give you a workout to do. So I want to cater to not just those that are really in the gym heavy, but also those that may be intimidated by going to the gym or not really into fitness that much and really want to find ways of being healthy, because my motto is healthy over fit, because in our community, we have, there's a lot of people that, suffer from high blood pressure and cholesterol issues, and we're more prone to these diseases and all these hardships within our health. And so I want people to learn how to be healthy over fit. It's not always about being fit and looking like the Instagram models. It's sometimes about, okay, what can I do just to not be out of breath by the time I get up the stairs? Or, when I go to the doctors and I have my physical, the doctor says, wow, you have done an amazing job. I've seen the increase of your exercise and how you have learned to take over your health and being able to be healthy. So that's what MaddFitness is all about. It's just finding ways to be engaged and getting those people that normally aren't, gym heavy or gym savvy, to be able to find something that they might like to do in order to maintain their health. But it's also for people that still, is in that workout phase and they're like, oh yeah, I want to, turn up in my living room. So it's also for those individuals too. So I'm definitely trying to impact people from all different walks of life.
Man, that's amazing. I totally agree with you about the nutrition piece, because you can work out all the time, but if you're not eating right, and especially in our community, it really affects us, what we eat, the fried foods and everything like that. So like, are those some of the things that you would tell your clients, like stay away from? Like what are some things they would need to eat, differently while working out in MaddFitness?
So I know that a lot of people aren't like, I'm not vegan or vegetarian. So I'm sorry. I like chicken wings and that's just what it is. And I'm really like not that instructor that's going to be like, okay, so we're going to learn your macros. We're going to learn your micros. No, we're not going to do that. But because sometimes it doesn't take all that in order for you to shed some weight. It doesn't take for you to drop meat all the way if that's just something that you're not interested in. So of course you have your vegetarians, you have your vegans. Cool. All right. So now we have the individuals that like they fry foods. They like going to McDonald's and they don't want to cook. So, it's definitely one thing. If you're going to eat chicken, let's let it be grilled, let it be baked. Whenever you're seasoning your food, stay away from things that are really high in sodium. Like we love hot sauce, but hot sauce is very high in sodium. So finding different alternatives. So I've challenged myself to go to the store and find like dairy free and sugar free sauces that are a little bit more healthier. But that still gives you that same kind of sense of like barbecue chicken or something in that nature. So I'm finding ways to kind of cut back on like very high intakes of sugar and sodium and trying to find alternatives. Additionally, just learning your body. So over the past year, I've learned that I become a little lactose. And whenever I have dairy, my body does not digest dairy well. So
Wow.
now I'm learning, okay, so I have to go solely almond milk. I have all my yogurt is almond based. So just finding certain things, like learning your body and listening to it and really understanding what you can digest and what you might hold or bloat more. So it's just kind of like just taking them through those different, journeys. Having fish, a lot of people don't eat fish, or let's do turkey. There's certain alternatives. We don't have to do red meat all the time, but finding those alternatives in different vegetables. Like, what vegetables do you like? What let's not do white rice, let's do brown rice, let's do sweet potatoes, but we're not gonna do candy yams, we're gonna do sweet potatoes.
Like,
And so
not
it's
the
just
candy
like,
yams.
we can't do candy yams. We can do it for Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Okay.
but we can't do it all the time. And so, because it's high in sugar, we gotta learn how to cut back. So I always, like for my sweet potatoes, I still put cinnamon, because cinnamon it's not like high in sodium, it's not high in sugar, but it still gives you that flavor of like something else. I don't have to put a whole bunch of butter or anything like that. So it's just finding alternatives of what you like, and let's find the healthy version of what we like to eat. So we're not constantly putting processed foods and fried foods in our system, but we're actually able to kind of find different ways to still eat what we like.
I love that. I love that. Where can people sign up, and where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. You can follow my personal page at THE Charity Maddox. So charity as in what you donate. So CHARITY Maddox MADDOX. And then my the fitness page is MaddFitness. So MADD Fitness with Charity. And then I'm also on Facebook, and Facebook is having a hard, is not allowing me to change my name on my page. So right now it's still Mixed Fit with Charity. I gotta call them and figure out how to get this straightened. So we're gonna still be with Mixed Fit with Charity on Facebook right now. So MIXXED Fit with Charity. And then you can join my emailing list on my website. So right now it hasn't completely launched, but whenever you go to the website at www.maddfitnesswithcharity.com, you'll be able to join the emailing list there. And I'll start showcasing kind of what you will get in your program, certain things that you should look into. And then also that's when I'll start, showcasing my merchandise that I'll be having on the website. So to kind of, have that at-home fitness experience that you need. So that's where you can find me, all of those social media platforms.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you very much, Charity, for your time. I love what you're doing with the business and with the community. It is much appreciated and needed.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it so much. This is like my first official interview as being over MaddFitness. So it's just I really do appreciate this opportunity, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Hey, you have a blessed day, Charity.
All right, you too.